on to our next amazing new National Marketing Director since we gathered. Kimberley Welman. Kimberley, married to Ben with 3 children. Kimberley is a proud wife, a mom to, I just got to meet them earlier on, 3 gorgeous kids, that you'll see them. She's the founder of the beautiful Wholehearted Woman community and is passionate about empowering women and young families to step into their greatness and create more health, freedom, and abundance in their lives. Kimberley also represents all of you on the APAC as one of the newer voices to that leadership team and brings so much wisdom, questions, and ideas to that team when we gather all of the time. She represents so well. She's an amazing leader that you've already heard from over the weekend, but now let's celebrate her as a new National Marketing Director, Kimberley Welman.
Please excuse the post-conference voice pre-conference as well. But before starting this business, I felt like a hamster on a wheel going round and round, feeling very trapped and capped in the same work week, the same schedule, the same wage, the same challenges presenting themselves over and over. And I just thought that was normal because everyone around me seemed to be doing the same thing. I was working in corporate communications for a national agency. Ben, my husband, was running our traditional business for 60 to 70 hours a week. And our 3 children, all within 19 months of age, had basically just started their schooling years. And they were doing after-school care, vacation care. And it was just life in the fast lane. And the fast lane, it wasn't the fun lane, because we were only able to be together as a family maybe for a few hours of an evening, and Sunday was our only day together. There was no such thing as a holiday or a few weeks break. And we knew that we had to make some changes. Because despite all of the hard work, despite all of the long hours, we weren't getting ahead. We had this knot in our stomach because we weren't living life in accordance to our values, nor were we getting ahead financially. In fact, we were spiraling backwards in debt. So in order to create the next chapter, we had to make some short-term sacrifices. So we were able to sell the traditional business, but we had to make the decision to move back in with my in-laws. And I still remember the day that we had to do that, because we felt like failures. But what I know to be true is in the darkest of moments comes the brightest of opportunity if you're prepared to see them. So I had been invited to take a look at Juice Plus by various partners around about 7 years ago. But I wasn't open already. I had collaborated with Kira on a few occasions, and when I saw her dive into this, I'm going to be honest here, I was like, here we go. Another one of those people doing another one of those things. But then a few years on, I was hurting, and I was looking for a new way. And even though I didn't know what this way was at the time, I could see community, I could see connection, and I could see support. So I was the biggest skeptic of this, but I was knocking on her door saying, "Take me." So getting started in this, I had all of the fears, but I leaned into the community support. And it was like I was in this cocoon of pain. But each week that I leaned into the team training, the coaching, the mentoring, the community, and the system, it was like I was just getting lighter and stronger each week. And this community taught me how to come out of that cocoon and use my wings again. So these past few years, they've taken a lot of work to get here. I'm not going to hide that. In fact, I've never worked so damn hard in my life to get here. But this time, the work has been different. It was inspiring rather than mundane. It was energizing rather than draining. So I built this working alongside a corporate career. I built it doing a 1-hour commute from my in-laws. And I used my time on the road and in lunch breaks and in late evenings and any moment I had to do the trainings, to host a team training, to get on a call. I built it in stolen moments, I promise you that today. And many nights for me meant doing a full day of work, picking the kids up from after school care, not getting home till 6:30, seeing Ben for 10 minutes. And then because I didn't have a quiet room to myself in that house, it was getting back on the road for another hour after that to come back and host a team training at my sister's house so I could have some good Wi-Fi and a quiet space to myself. And some nights I was eager and I was inspired to do that. Most nights all I wanted to do was come home, sit on the couch with my husband and tuck my kids into bed. But this was all part of the freedom plan. It was these short-term trade-offs to really kickstart that next chapter of our life. So in the first few years, you know what? There are so many moments that could have easily taken me out. I had so many moments of, is this really going to work? Yes, I can see other people around me doing it, but is this really going to work for me? And whenever I was in that moment, it was because I was taking a constant score of where I was then. Constantly just, where was I in that moment, rather than putting my head up and looking ahead. So I learned to measure the baby steps. I learned to measure progress. And I learned to get laser obsessed with that vision of where I was going rather than where I was in that moment. And that is where I found my certainty. And that's what's attractive to people looking into this. It doesn't matter where you are right now. It's where you're going that brings the certainty and what's attractive. So I became laser focused on my vision and my goals. I meditate every day. I manifest every day. I go to work on me every day, not just on the days that I feel like it. I don't open my business until I open my heart and my mind. So as part of that vision casting for me, on the 1-hour commutes, driving on the highway with the kids in the car to get to school early. We'd be driving along and I'd ask the kids, I'd say, what song should we play together when we get to go on stage as an NMD? And I think at this time I was, just kind of an SC. What song should we play? And we'd play all these different songs and we'd be dancing and singing in the car together. And if you ever want to be kept accountable to your goals, tell your kids. Yeah, they've only asked me 999 times when they get to go on the big stage. So achieving our goals meant being back in our home. It meant feeling empowered around our finances and our future rather than scared. It meant quitting a corporate career in senior public relations of 19 years and being able to do this full time, helping people get healthier and happier from home, in and around the kids. I used to be embarrassed sharing my story. But when I shared it, I saw my team awaken on a whole new level. They sewed together. They appreciated and trusted me on a new level. And for people that I was in connections with, in conversations with about this business, when I shared with them, the deeper level increased through the roof. So today I share with you with supreme appreciation and gratitude and pride. Because if we had never gone through that challenging moment, that challenging time, maybe we would have settled. Maybe we would have settled for just staying frozen and average and feeling like that hamster on a wheel. If I wasn't prepared to become a spokesperson for my pain, how would I ever step into my power and inspire others to do the same? So I often get asked, is all of this worth it? Is the journey to NMD worth it? Well, I could stand here and talk to you about that all day, but it's so much more special when you feel it. And I invite you, all of you, to feel that with me today. As you get to meet my husband, Ben, and my 3 children, Eve, George, and Indiana.
It's worth it.
We give them all a big wave.